yeah. Okay, so moving on from this game, we want to talk to you about the Wild overtaking the Blackhawks for the Blackhawks for the best record in the West. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm not really that surprised. Bruce Boudreau, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. He's the best, or one of the best, regular season coaches of the National Hockey League. The reason why I'm not putting him up there as one of the best coaches yet is because he hasn't won a championship. And that's not completely on him, it's his players. But, I watch this team play, I watch the balance they play with. You see Koivu right there, their captain. He's now in the number 2 position as a centerman. That's up to carry that burden of being the number 1 guy of putting up points on the board. He can be that two-way shutdown defensive forward that he's really built to be. But Eric Staal really helps this team. Now he's the number 1 horse. He rebounded nicely from a very poor season last year in New York and Carolina, and he's putting up a point again. We're seeing the old Eric Staal again, who I thought his career was done. But he's had a nice rebirth there in Minnesota. And you've got Devin Dubnyk. He's the big difference. Bruce Boudreau's never had a horse like him in net in previous stops. In Anaheim, he had Anderson, he had Gibson. Now, they were okay. They haven't really proven themselves yet. And in Washington, who was his goaltender? You couldn't tell me if I asked you. I don't even know who his goaltenders were. So you got a guy like Devin Dubnyk in net. He gives you a chance to win every single night. He played well last year, went a nice long run for them last year. And, this year he's playing very well again.
But you mentioned, you've qualified that by saying that he is one of the best regular season coaches. Why might this team be that team that actually has success in the postseason?
Well, I think the depth. We saw last year with Pittsburgh. We've seen Pittsburgh and we saw Chicago in previous years. It's the depth, really, and that's the reason why, I'm a little worried about Chicago. Chicago at this point in the season don't have the same depth that Minnesota has up and down the lineup. Chicago's still trying to find that bottom 6 scoring on the 3rd and 4th lines, whereas I believe the Wild have it. You've got Niederreiter, you've got Granlund, you also have Parisi up top, you've got Koivu, who I mentioned before, but they're back end. I like their back end with Brodin, I like their back end with Dumba, I like Ryan Suter that plays a ton of minutes. I just love the balance they have all throughout their lineup, that they're able to get it done for 4 lines, 6 defensemen, and that goaltending. And I can't undersell their goaltending enough. Devin Dubnyk is one of the best goalies in the league. And when you're 6'5" and your game is as quiet as his, all you can do is stand there. If you're in the right position, the pucks will just find you. And that's exactly what's happening in Devin Dubnyk's game right now. Pucks are finding him. He's making the game look very, very easy.